Hello, sim racers. Welcome to another live stream. Tonight, we are going to do some practice at Brands Hatch, which, by the way, it's one of my favorite tracks, and have it has been a very long time that I haven't been, driving at Brands Hatch. I remember the first time I saw the realization from Simone, I was like, "Wow, this thing is amazing!" And I remember also going there to do um, the laser scan and the photos, and I love this place. It's so cool. So tonight we're gonna do practice at Brands Hatch because we have a race to do, endurance race with together with David De Brivio, and we are going to be using the Aston Martin V8. So first of all, hello everybody to the chat. Let's see how you're doing. I believe everybody is already connected. People are asking for Porsche, for Rex. We will do that at some point, guys. Don't worry, but not tonight. Not tonight because we still have to do things for things for the endurance race. So yeah, tonight's gonna be Brandhats, Aston Martin V8. We're gonna do a circuit walk as usual because I haven't been driving for a long time to the circuit. I don't have any practice at all right now, so I need to catch up with David and everybody else. And then after the circuit walk, we're gonna go into the RedLine Motorsport server, which they have already configured a practice session with those very tricky ambient conditions. It's raining, but it is a little bit damp and it is a bit dry on the racing line. It's very tricky. So we have to see and check what we can do. This create some kind of initial setup. Check the conditions and all that stuff. So it's gonna be a long night, I guess, tonight. But first of all, uh, let's do some news. As you have probably already know, Stefano Casillo just announced that he's leaving Kunos. What can I say? Stefano, for me, has been a mentor, has been a great colleague to work with. I owe him so much. I remember mm, checking and meeting Stefano virtually at around 2003, 2004, something like that. And we've been working on Netcar beta. At some point, he left Netcar and he went to Japan to follow his career. He was actually a programmer for video editing, high-end software, and I've stayed behind to make the last version of that Netcar Naimi, I think it was called, which had the Supra, and he just left so fast that I had some pieces here and there to make the version. Uh, After that, he came back. He started working on Netcar Pro, and I went away because I had other professional things to follow. He founded Kuno Simulazioni together with Marco Massaruto, and at some point uh, I've started working on some very big mods for GTR2, total mods, completely changed the sim back in the days. It was called Power and Glory. At the same time, they were finalizing during the last days of Netcar Pro, and they asked me to have a look at it and see if I could help them a little bit with the website and stuff like that. I did that. We started working a bit about that, and after that they asked me to work more with them, join the Kuno Simulazioni and start working on Ferrari Virtual Academy. We did that, and after that it was they called me at Rome and showed me something completely new. And I remember back in the day, it was just a single seater on a track, laser scan track, and I was blown away by it, by the feeling, by the physics. Right? I thought, what the fuck is that? And Stefan said, well, that this is our new engine that I'm working on, and we would like to work together on everything. And so this is where the story of Assetto Corsa began. Uh, And Stefano is Stefano is was for Cuneo Simulazioni, but is still now one of the few geniuses that I've been happy and proud to have met in my life. I can count them in one hand fingers, maybe two or three of them. He's really a genius. I saw him vomit code. Do you know what it means? That as I'm talking to you like right now in almost fluent English, he can write code at the same speed. If he has an idea and he's cleaning his head about it, he just go through it and just writing as if it is a book or a novel or something. He's that kind of guy. He's amazing on understanding maths that he doesn't know. He just stay there and says, "Okay, I have to study about that, and I'll be back to you whenever I know about it." And he will just disappear, and we never knew what he's up to. But in the meantime, he's studying. He's trying to understand. He's trying to do things, and then he comes back to you, and he's like, "You know what? I maybe have the solution." And in one day, he's able to do things that I've seen other programmers doing in, I don't know, weeks or months. He's that good. He's that good. Uh, but being a genius is like a volcano. He explodes and then he goes into sleep for some time. And in the meantime, he studies. He thinks about it. He never talks to you about that, and he keeps on good going. He keeps on going, but you don't know nothing about that. You just have to trust him. And then again, someday you hear the explosions, and you here it is in front of your monitor, and he has done an amazing job in just a couple of days or weeks. It is this kind of guy, and to be honest with you, I think the guy stayed with Kunos even way too much time because he's that kind of guy. He's always the guy searching and looking for the next adventure. I've never seen him staying into one place for too much time. He's such a mind that he's looking for new adventures. He's looking for new stuff to do. And so it was a great time with him and a great pleasure and a great honor. And it was a surprise that he stayed in Kunos and doing sims for so many years. I had a great time with him. I've learned so much from him. I've learned really really so much things from him about uh, about physics of cars, and about work ethic. He's one of the highest work ethics I've seen in a man. He will never go for the compromise. He will always be, no, you know what? We either do it correctly or we don't do it. Because if we do it and it doesn't work, then it's shit. And he's very straightforward about it. Um, he's not the easiest guy to live with. He's always very honest and straight and in your face, and he will insult you, but he will be insulted by you if you take his insult as offensive and you don't try to improve yourself because of his insult. His insults are like, you know what, you fucked up, you have to get better. If you get offended by that, he will get offended on you because you don't understand. That's the kind of guy he is. So I've learned this, and I'm really uh, you know grateful for what he taught me, and I'm happy, and I wish that we will continue to talk and talk about this, and he will still keep teaching me things. I'm pretty sure about that. But it's time for him to change and follow a different adventure. Uh, I have to say to you that it's not something that he decided yesterday. We went through a long process. We knew about that, and everything that you are now enjoy on Assetto Corsa Competizione has been done because of his legacy, but also because we took care to not be unprepared. So no worries about that. We just keep doing what we like, and we hope that he keeps doing what he loves. And anyway, on this terrible disappointment, let's go and have some race. Let's go. All right, so um, here we are. As I said, very nice uh, branch hats, Aston Martin V8, and let's go in. No, I'm not crying. You are crying. All right. So what we're gonna do here? We're gonna get the aggressive setup as usual, and we're gonna do a slow lap around the circuit, and we're gonna do our usual circuit walk. So we're gonna get our reference points, trajectories, all that stuff. Hey, Ensiferum. Hi, man. Okay, let's do just one lap so that we can start from before the start line, as usual. What a wonderful track. This is one of the most beautiful circuits and most demanding also. You know, old school circuit, bumpy, turns, not enough straights, up hills, down hills, off camber, on camber, low curbs, grass even, all that stuff. Ah, look at that. Look at this. This is such a beautiful track. Wonderful, wonderful. Look at that. Downhill now. Ha, Madsen. V12. Madsen says V12 hates branch hats though. That's not true. The V12 doesn't hate things. The V12 is angry at things. It shouts to everything. It's an angry car and it's angry with everybody and every track. Oh, thank you so much, Edward. Thanks for the two. Thanks so much, mate. Sure, shoot on. Everybody can question things, of course. All right, so says I think the bridge has the best tracks in Europe, except Nordschleife. Um, probably, probably yes, probably yes. No, I'm playing on 1.3, and I will have to, again, customize myself because 1.4 is so much better, guys. All right, so let's start. So what you want to do during the straight line here, you're gonna go close to the pit lane wall, and I'll tell you at the end of the lap why. You stay here close to the wall, and at about here, you can see here. Oh, by the way, yes, I have to give me just a second because I have to make work the mouse pointer. So the mouse pointer, yes. How do I do this? The mouse pointer. What was it? I don't remember anymore. Mouse pointer. Where was it? I don't even remember the name of the thing. Let's see if I can find the. Oh, come on! Seriously, let me. Give me a second, guys. Uh, pu- 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 Where's the pointer? Cannot find the pointer. Damn it. Edward, me la fa in italiano. Ok. No, so Edward is asking if it will ever be possible to have circuits that they are not part of the SRO, Black Pound, whatever series that we are simulating. Unfortunately, I think the answer is no. At least for as much as I know, it's not possible because we are linked for this title with the official uh, SRO series. So yeah, it's not really possible. Sorry about that. Uh, except if they ask us to do something like that. But again, this is out of my zone. I don't know about that stuff. So let me, guys, give me a second. I have to go out and activate the pointer. Otherwise, do. I cannot show you with the mouse where the reference points are. So give me just a second. I'll be back again as soon as possible. So okay, pointer focus. That's it. Pointer focus. Nope, nope. That's it, and that's it. Okay, back in again. All the development is already ongoing, guys, because it needs lots of time to do stuff. So everything that we have announced, about GT4 and British GT, everything is already ongoing because you don't do 2 or 3 tracks like in a couple of weeks, and you don't do all the GT4 cars in a couple of weeks. I wish, but unfortunately not. Uh, Yeah, I won't forget the cam view this time. Yeah, we should call Stefano to drive at the Nordschleife. That might help us, you know. Okay, so we are back again, and you should be able to uh, see the mouse, right? Like here. Uh, in the middle of the screen, you should be able to see the mouse pointer. It's that circle. So let's put it over there for now, and then we'll see. All right, so let's do this average quick lap to go to the straight line again, and then we start watching at our reference points and do the proper circuit walkthrough. Words on the Nils Nauzovski's penalty. Uh, Maybe later after everything. What I will say is that there was race control. Race control did its job, and honestly, if a race control does its job, we shouldn't, go over and keep on, criticizing or whatever. It doesn't do any good to anybody. So that is my first talk about that. All right, so okay, here we are. So let's as you get out of the last corner, you are more or less around here. Uh, what you need to do is close the turn like this and go as close to the wall of the circuit as possible, because it is all downhill. You also there is a little bit of uphill. You will see it later on, um, and and yes, now it's off, but it is all downhill, and as you can see, there is lots of camber towards the pit lane. So even if at the exit of the turn there is a tiny bit of uphill, by following the camber of the road, you are going still downhill instead of staying outside. If you stay outside, you are going a little bit uphill and then downhill and then uphill again. By going close to the wall, you are going a tiny bit downhill, or at least less uphill. So it's much better for gaining a couple of kilometers. So you stay as close to the wall as possible, All right, and then no mouse again. Okay, so maybe this is a problem of XSplit. So I will change this to that display one, and now you should see it. Let's see. Now you should see it. Let's wait for the live to catch up and let me know on the chat if you can see it. Should be here now, right? Okay. Yeah, I see it already, so it should be there. Okay, so once you are here, fine, yeah, got it. Thank you, guys. So once you're here, this, where the white wall ends, is your reference points to start moving outside. So you move outside, and oh, shut up, Gergo. You move outside and you point your car into this orange guardrail. This is where you have to do. So yeah, so you go over there, okay, and this is how you stay out. Now, once you go through, and it just died the engine. Once you go through this orange part of the guardrail, this is more or less your reference point for braking. Depending on the car, okay, you brake right on here or a little bit afterwards, okay. Depending on your setup and everything, some guys might go even closer to this orange, but I don't think they can brake here. It's more or less here or here. So, for example, if you have a rear engine car, mid engine car that has lots of pitch sensitivity, so it is very tricky to brake and turn in, because here you have to brake and turn in at the same point. So if you have a car like that, maybe you want to brake a little bit sooner and then accelerate, keep the car on the accelerator so that you balance the aero platform of the car and you don't have too much rotation. But if you brake with a car like this, the Aston, which is, it has the front mid engine, and it is also a pretty stable car under braking and not so much pitch sensitive, um, you can brake a little bit later than this orange guardrail here. So you brake here, you try to don't turn the car too much until you have finished your braking, and then you try to get a tiny bit of a late apex. This orange guardrail here is a good indication that you should start turning in and towards the apex of this turn. So the apex of this turn is more or less into those little, I don't know how to call them, poles or something like that, but I'm pretty sure that after the first lap, those things do not exist anymore because they are, movable objects that you can crash on and make them disappear. Um, so yeah, this is more or less the apex of the turn. So once you're here, you can already start. You should be already on the accelerator, but be careful. Don't overdo it too much, because as you can see, the road is go to a very deep downhill session. There's a lot of crest, so the car becomes very light on its tires, especially the front end here, and it means that while we are accelerating, you're going to get lots of understeer. So in your turning line, you have to already take care of the upcoming understeer that you are going to get. It's no way to deal with it. The only way to deal with it is, to exit as straight as possible, point like that, because if you are like this, then you are already dead. Here you're gonna go in understeer like that, and you're gonna end very, very wide. While if you are already turned like that, then you're gonna go into understeer, and instead of, ending up here, you will end up um, over this curb. Now, very important. Once you are over the curb, be very careful, because you are gonna arrive on the curb with understeer. Arriving over the curb like this, don't stay turned like that, because right where we are now, the track starts going uphill, so you have a very very important compression at high speed, and it means that your front tires first get lots of compression and regain grip. So if you are turned like that, you have a great risk to lose your rear end and go into the right of the road or even lose control. So take care that when you arrive sliding over this curb, you have to be as straight as possible, even if you think that you are about to go, off the road. Just keep it as straight, maybe a tiny bit turned, but as straight as possible your steering wheel, because otherwise you're really risking getting out of shape in oversteer. All right, so many things happening in the chat. Yeah. All right, so okay, so uphill again. Now this is very very this is one of the usual tricky moments. So okay, where do I start to brake for this right turn, uh, uh, long turn? That is also, the entrance is not visible. Now, obviously, one says, okay, we have this great Brands Hatch pass through. I don't know how to call this thing. Sorry about that. And so I will brake once I am over there. Don't do that. It's risky. Some people manage it. Depends also on your car, but usually you have to start braking just a tiny bit before that. And again, the orange guardrail is your reference point. Once you see the orange guardrail here, start braking. Do not wait to brake under the bridge. Do not brake under this bridge. You're gonna be late. You're gonna be very late. So um, you brake just before under the bridge into this orange guardrail. Okay, and thanks MSL 720. Yes, it is a bridge. And while you do this, you have to start going towards the turn. I wouldn't recommend, actually. I'm not doing it. I'm not staying it here. I'm not staying here wide and then go into the turn. Why? Because let me show you once more how the road here is off camber and here is in positive camber towards the turn. So you want to stay into the camber of the road to gain more grip. Otherwise, if you end up wide, even in the middle of the road, you are really risking to not be able to go into the apex and end up wide on the turn. So again, stay here. Usually I'm making this in first gear on some cars like the Lamborghini, or in second gear here on the Aston. Uh, some people say you can double apex. Yes, you can double apex here, but I wouldn't go too wide. I would go just a tiny bit wide and then go in again. You can also keep your inner tires just, touching the inner curb. This will help you rotate the car even a little bit more, but just touching it. If you go way too up to inside on the curb, I want to show you. Sometimes, the curbs seems low to us, but in reality they are pretty high. So look at that curb now. Now you see it seems smooth and low, and it's okay if you put your tires over here like this, but it's not okay at all. Look at how high the curbs are here. It's practically under the middle of the rim of the wheel. So if you go that much inside the curb, look at what is going to happen. So let's go like that. Okay. All right. So let's go here. So I'm not even saying, oh, you went so high that you are touching the inner sausages. No, I'm saying that you just went to the limit of the inner sausages. All right. So what is going to happen? Look at how high the car is standing now from the ground, which means your diffuser and your splitter is losing efficiency. So you are not having the full downforce that you can have if instead you were here, right? Look at this. Look at how low the car sits now. And I'm still over the curb. Let me go a little bit down more. Okay, so look at how lower the car sits now on the ground. And now your diffuser works really well. And if you're asking me, but Assetto Corsa really manages to, simulate the difference in height? Yes, of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't tell you. So yes, it does, and that's why you shouldn't go that high. Sometimes it helps you to rotate the car, but don't do it for the whole turn. Stay, just touch the curb and not go too high into it. All right, so uh, very important, the exit here, as usual. All exit turns are extremely important. You have to go, you are in a low gear here with all cars. You have to go on the accelerator with decision, but gradually. So you have to do this. See the green light. You have to do this. Okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do this, because if you do this, even if your setup has all the traction, even if you have traction control high, if you do like that very fast, then your tires will spin for a moment, slightly unbalance the car. Maybe you can control it, but in the meantime you are losing tenths of a second, and we will show that in a moment. All right. uh, Diesel asks, rightfully, but Aris, doesn't the curb compresses the suspension make it lower? No, because it is on the inside. The inside, while the car is turning at 1.4, 1.5 Gs, it compresses the outside, you know, uh, wheels, sorry, the outside of the car. The inside is up quite light, even though because we are in a very slow turn, so the downforce is not so important. And so the if you keep going over that curb with your inner wheels, you provoking even more roll, and you're getting the mid and the outside of the car even higher than before. So not in this case. All right, so let's go back. Let's go. So you exit here. You can go over the curb here, and you can even go even a tiny bit outside of the curb here, because as you can see, this thing here has a tiny bit of grip if you go outside like that, you see, and you are straight. But don't overdo it. So okay, so we go downhill now, and again you have to point your car to the outside right of the road. So you have to end somewhere here, and the start of this little curve is your reference point for the next turn. Somewhere around here, a little bit sooner, a little bit later, but somewhere around here. I've always braking at the start of the curve, and I always have the impression that I can brake a little bit later. And every time I brake later here, so not at the start but a tiny bit later, I always end up on the next turn out of shape, or too wide, or too inside, because I cannot control the car. So my advice here is, at least when you start, is a tiny bit before or at the start of the curve. This is where you want to brake. Now brake straight, go into the turn, and try to keep momentum, okay, into this turn. Be very careful. Even if the poles are not there, and they won't be after the first or the second lap, because everybody will, bring them down. Do not go in the inside to the grass. Is one of the situation. Yasu Mike is one of the situations that everybody wants to cut this turn a little bit and go into the inside and go somewhere here. But the problem here is that this curb is not high, and it gives you the impression that you can go, but the grass and terrain after the curb is in a lower position than the curb. So if you go there, the car will gonna jump in and jump out again when it will touch the curb again, and it will unsettle you during the exit of the turn. And it's not that you are definitely gonna lose control. You are not. But that unsettlement and a little bit of a jump will make the traction control to engage and will make you lose lots of time. So let me show you what I mean by that. Watch how the suspension of the car will go down and up again. You see, boom, down. And now when I'm going back again, you see how it goes boom, up again. This thing will make when you arrive, at a certain speed, will make your car jump, and obviously this is where the traction control engages, and you don't want to this to happen when you are at the exit of the turn. All right. So exit of the turn again. It seems straightforward. You can go pretty wide here. As you can see, there are also, I believe they are called cobblestones, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Again here. So you can go wide here, but be careful, because if you do it, if you exaggerate, then you're gonna get a penalty. And it is also, you want to end up here in pretty much a straight line like this, uh, because it's very slippery. So if you end up and you're still turning, it will, rotate your car and you're gonna lose control or simply lots of time. Okay, let's move on. Rain afterwards. Now we do a circuit walk. Rain afterwards. Okay, so here it's straightforward. You just accelerate all you have, and we are arriving at this nice little orange guardrail guy. And this is our reference point for braking for the next turn. Again, you can't brake after this, but you have to go gradually. Okay, you have to go gradually, because it's easy to end up wide on that turn, and the exit of that turn is extremely important, because it is practically the longest straight on the track. So you want to have the best exit possible from this turn, so that you can accelerate as good as possible and gain speed and time. So this is our reference point. Start braking here, and lap after lap after lap, you can start, braking a tiny bit later than here, a tiny bit later than here. So, oh my God, guys, 236 concurrent viewers. Thank you so much. This is amazing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all the stuff. Make me rich, usual stuff. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, and thank you so much for bringing sorry, for bringing the channel to over 5,000 subscribers. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. And it doesn't stop. It keeps on coming and coming. New subscribers here. I don't know who you are, guys, because unfortunately, I think it's who it is. Andrei Berthold and Vacislav Potapenko. Thank you so much, guys. And Konstantin, I cannot spell your last name. Thank you so much. All right, so let's move on. Um, so here, how to make this turn? This turn is very, very particular. Try to follow the rubber line. So stay wide, okay, to the entry. Don't go directly into the turn. Stay a little bit wide, and you have to try and keep a tiny bit of braking while you're turning. This is one of those turns that you need a little bit of trail braking. I know that usually I am advising you to not use too much trail braking with those cars, to let them, keep momentum. But in this turn, you need a little bit of trail braking to rotate slowly, not too much, the car while you approach this turn. And while you're coming here, you will see that there are practically two kinks. Two kinks. This is the first one. You can see here the curb and the white line. There is a little bit of an extra angle. Now this is where you want to have your car rotated with a tiny bit of braking. This is where you want the car to rotate, okay? And then here you let off the uh, the brake totally. You coast just for a tiny little bit, and here you see the curb ends, and you have a tiny bit extra angle again. So you have those two kinks, 1 and 2. So at the first, you have to have already your car rotated. You release the brake. The car should manage to keep on the rotation gradually and nicely, and then at the second one, okay, here this is where you want to start going into the accelerator again, slowly, like this, gradually, decisive but gradually, not like boom, like 100%. You don't want to this to happen. So go into the accelerator and rotate the car with the accelerator. The car will start to slide out and continuously going into a slight oversteer rotating. Now try to not go too much over this curve. Why? Because first of all, this curve is not as smooth as it seems. It will slide quite a bit, okay, your car, and the track here is bumpy, so you will have bumpiness that can unsettle your car even more. And most importantly, at the exit, which I can assure you is where you will end up with the car still sliding, fighting for traction on the limit. Okay, as you can see, the track here, the curb here ends abruptly. It's not like that it ends slowly. No, it's just boom. That's it. There's no more. And not only it ends, but the terrain here again is underneath the track. Look at that. Boop. Did you saw how? Doop. Can you see the wheel how it falls down after the curb? Look at this. Let's look at this. Duck, because the terrain is underneath it. So when that happens, look how low to the ground the car is already. Now imagine to having the car already rolled because of the high speed. So practically you are touching. So if you do this at high speed and you don't have your car perfectly straight here and you go over the road like that, you are going to touch, might lose control, or simply traction control will activate, like this. See, boom, you saw the rear end. So traction control will activate and you are going to lose a ton of lap time for this for this quite long straight, and you don't want this to happen. So make sure to exit on the curb, but then into the road again, and don't make the car unsettle over there. All right, so downhill again, under the bridge. Lots of squirrels in real life here going around. Amazing. So now, this is a very fast left turn. I do this in fourth gear usually, in pretty much all the cars. And I start braking again. This is my reference point. Now usually with this car, I pass through this reference point and I brake quite a bit later, pretty much before the middle between this and this one. But this is your first reference point. Start braking here and then slowly, move forward. Brake straight, stay wide, and then very smoothly, do not upset the car with strange movements, very smoothly start to go into the turn. You want to have ended your braking pretty much here. Again, another reference point. And then let the car coast and keep its momentum. This is a high speed turn with lots of momentum. Momentum is everything into those turns, these and the following turns. Okay, so keep the momentum. You can get reference points here and here to start accelerating again. Okay, you need to have a quite balanced car that when you go into the accelerator, it rotates slowly at that high speed, and again move out of it. Pretty straightforward. There is no, late apex. It's a simple turn, but because it is so fast, it is difficult to take it right. Now, next thing to do. Hello, Motley. So next thing to do is this turn. This is even more difficult than before. Again, here it is, next reference point. Again, the orange. As I've told you many times, uh, the fact that they paint the end of the guardrails orange is double the reasons. One is because obviously they want to show to the drivers where the guardrail ends so that they can park the car, or the people that they have to pull out the cars where the guardrail ends. But they are also always reference points. Why? Because they are usually into 100 meters, 200 meters, 300 meters, 50 meters, and so on. They don't end the guardrails like, wherever. They usually end them into multiple of 100 meters. And this is a great help for the drivers to pick up reference points, especially on track like this, that they are not actual 100-meter signs, but they are those polystyrol whatever things that they can break up into accidents. So you lose your reference point, and what's your next reference point? A tree. They are thousands of that, so you cannot take a tree here. So here is again your reference point. Brake, third gear here, and what you have to do here is complex. You have to go and point the car to jump over the curb and possibly with your inner tires into the grass. You have to do that if you want to be fast. And you have to go like this into the turn, right? And you have to point your car like that. Now, not only you have to do this, but you have to be on the accelerator just before, or even sooner if you can, just before you jump. This is the correct way to take it, because going into the accelerator here will raise the nose a little bit and make the jump better. Because this is not a very easy jump, but we need to be with the car like that, more or less, a little bit less. We will see it when we will do everything. So we need to be with the car in a similar position, but heavily rolled to the outside wheel, so that the inner wheel have as less, load as possible, and the nose is up, because we don't want to have any bad, surprises with this curb that seems low, but it is with steps, so it is dangerous. So hard on the accelerator, okay, and jump over. The jump will make the car rotate. So keep in mind this. The jump will make the car rotate, and this will help you. Now, here you can get a little bit too wide. So it is possible that you end up here. Again, this is a cobblestone, whatever you call it. Sorry again. You can end up here, but you have to have finished your rotation, or almost finish your rotation. If you end up here like this, then all its end. I mean, you cannot survive. You have to end here into this situation, like that. Okay, let me show you. This is how you have to end here. So that even if you end up wide, you can still keep the accelerator down and get off that and back to the track in time. Okay? All right. All good? So, downhill now again. I would advise you to stay more or less in the middle of the track. Okay, don't go too much to the right, even if it seems that you should do it. Stay in the middle. Don't go much to the right. Stay in the middle. Point towards the outside here to the Marshall and the other orange guardrail. And this, again, is your reference point for braking. So once you go through this, we just went, okay, here, this is where you start braking. Now this is really tricky. As you can see, actually you cannot see, because this is a completely blind turn. So you have to, take care of it. So you have to brake in confidence, arrive here, and once you start watching and you can see the inner curb here, you have to turn in, because again, this is another turn that you have to go over the curb and into the inside right here. You see, this is where you have to be. You see, they have again this kind of fake tarmac or whatever to protect tires and everything and keep the road level. You have to be here when you are going fast. So you will be here, jump again, make the car rotate. The car will slide wide once more. Now, very careful, very careful. So what is happening here? You don't want to end up too wide here at the left. Why? Because even though if you end up here, there is still some cobblestone and you have grip, this thing ends more or less here. You see, there is no more. And I can assure you, let's go a little bit faster like that. Okay. I can assure you that if you do this turn properly, you're gonna end up wide and you will start going outside the road, exactly more or less here where there is this little kink, and the road keeps on turning. So if you end too wide, you won't have the time to get back to the road again, and where you're gonna finish. You're going to finish. Let me slow down. Okay, you're gonna finish outside here on the grass. Okay, and this is very slightly very bumpy. You can see, boom, to get back again. You're gonna lose tons of time. You don't want to happen. Okay, once more, finish that. Go to the other side. And again, you know it by now. The orange guardrails are always our friends. This is your reference points to start braking for this turn. Okay. Now this turn, as you can see, it has tremendous amount of curb, so you can go in it faster than you think. Just make sure to go as inside as possible. Get on the curb a little bit, no big deal. You can use the inner curb. Don't overdo it, but you can use that inner curb. We've made a fantastic photo here with Marco and another colleague that was there only for the photos. Is not actually Kuno's developer, and it is probably some of you have seen it. It is the famous photos where we are, sitting on the road and driving invisible cars, and all those two of those guys are, leaning into the turn and driving, and I'm drifting. So go on my Facebook, watch my photos, you will find it. Anyway, so turn goes, you go out from the turn, and as you can see, the camber of the turn is no more. So be very careful. Make sure you have rotated the car properly, and make sure to end up on the outside curb. It's even better if you don't take it, but if you have to take it, be careful, because this curb is tricky. Again, another curb that seems smooth and easy, but what is happening is, we'll show you in a minute. All right, more or less here. So what is happening, you can even see the cutout of the curb. Okay, as you can see, the curb is like that. So it goes up here, goes up, and then it goes down. So when you are finally arriving with your car sliding, heavily leaning on the outside, okay, this part of the car is even lower than now. And so you're really risking to touching the curb with your under tray. And you might have seen that on the real cars that often end up there and losing control, even going hitting the wall because of this thing. You have to be very careful. So make sure that if you go outside here, your your car must be again as straight as possible, because if it is straight, it means that the roll starts to end and the car is level again, and so you're not touching so hard. Okay, out of the curb again, last tricky turn. Okay, so where to start braking here? Now, uh, you can start. It really depends. Uh, sometimes you have to start here and start learning the car. Hello, Claims Pony. Welcome to the subscribe. Thanks, and Cats also. So you have to start braking here if you are new to the track. Otherwise, you can start braking here where the tire mm, wall is, the tire wall over here. Again, orange and tire wall. This is usually my reference points for braking for the next turn. You see, here it is. Just went through it. Okay, this one. Okay. Now, again, as always, where you are taking your reference points to start braking. So, for example, if the reference point is here or after that, it depends on your monitor, your FOV, your viewing settings, all that stuff. I'm giving you the generic correct reference points. You get them, and afterwards you work with your car, because you might have an Aston, sorry about that, you might have a Bentley, which is very long ahead, or you might have a McLaren, which is very narrow front end. So this is the initial reference points. You do some laps on them, and then you start fine tuning your reference points. So okay, I might not stop exactly here, but on the red part of the tire wall, or just a tiny bit before that. It depends on how you have set up your simulator. Okay, all right. Hello, Urban Sim Racer. So, braking again. Now, this is another very tricky turn. It's very easy to end up very wide here because, as we said, again, this is another turn that you don't have to cut into the grass because the grass is lower and you are going to unsettle your car jumping and scraping the surface. So, don't go too much inside. Okay. And so just touch or even don't touch the inner curb that you can see. It's really, really tiny, very narrow. Okay. And then you have this crest, which means that once more, while you are going outside from the while you are going through the apex and accelerating, you're gonna end up having lots of understeer. Hello, Henry Mormans, welcome. So you're gonna end up having lots of understeer. So be careful here. Uh, you have to, not go too wide and have too much understeer, because there's this turn keeps on turning and turning and you don't have enough space. So again, careful here. Once more, once you have done with that, as I told you before, you see here now, look at this again. This is all uphill. If you stay outside, first of all, you are doing more meters because you are at the outside of the turn. That's one. And secondly, as you can see, there's lots of curb, there's lots of camber going inside. So if you are going through the inside, the uphill is less than staying outside. Okay, so less uphill, less meters to cover, and then sooner on the downhill, which means you're faster. Okay, once more, you stay as close here as possible to the wall. Once the white wall ends, all right, this is your reference point, 2 point outwards like that. Go here, reference points, brake, and into the turn again. So let's go back to the garage and do a couple of turns, see where we are, and then out of it and into the server and see how we are. Okay, what we can do with the conditions of the server. All right, so yeah, setup, tires. tiny bit hot again, and the keyboard goes out. And let's do a couple of laps. 6 lap time. Yeah, we were so fast. We're gonna be even slower now. All right. As I told you, stay here. Don't go too much over. Start of the. Don't cut inside. Don't go way too outside here. Guardrail. Keep on braking. Put it in, and now start accelerating. You see? Did you notice the bounce? Very, very bouncy. The exit of that turn is extremely bouncy. You have to be careful of that. 4th gear. Keep the momentum. 3rd gear. Jump in. Way too wide here. Not good. 3rd gear again. Jump. Don't go too wide. Stay here. 2nd gear in. Didn't make it to go inside. 3rd gear. Watch the understeer at the exit. Inside here. Close to the pit wall. Outside. Oops. Way too much. I have to wait now. Nothing I can do. Second gear. You see, if I jump over there, did you notice the jump and bounce again? Rotate the car. Whoa, bouncy. Thanks guys in the chat, so much love. Usually, yes, I do 1st gear on Druids, but on this car, it's way too short. I will try it again, but on this car, I saw that, you know, we can try it here and see. This lap. Global Head Club. The Aston is such a nice car to drive. Yeah, see? See, it ends really fast and gives me some, but, you know, we can try it again. Little bit too much oversteer over there. Such a wonderful track. Wonderful. I love bouncy tracks. I love bouncy things in general, but yeah, I love bouncy tracks mainly. My wife here? No. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful track, so well made, by the way. Oh, a little bit of oversteer there. Understeer, oversteer everywhere. I'm all over the place. Okay, let's try 1st gear again here. ended up too wide there, losing time. Ooh, I've lost the car in the entry. That will teach me to not stay focused and reading the chat again. Pity, because looked like a good lap time, but ooh, that was strange. Okay, let's see if we can do a 24 and then we go to the server. Ooh, way too late braking. You see how I've lost all the time gained. It's a pity. Nice. Oh, come on. Not so nice. Ooh, that was a little bit of railing. And here's the sliding wide here. Always an issue. Ooh, very bad. Why am I so bad here? I love this track. I really love this track. So cool. Understood. Ah, finally. Oh, come on. Ah, this is what happens when you go over that curve. You saw that? I don't know, guys. Will be released the new pack when it's ready. All right, so let's go back to the beach and let's go to the server, because it doesn't make sense right now to, you know, try to get better here. We need to go to the server and check the conditions, which are pretty particular. Even the pit entry is tricky here. Even the pit entry. All right, good. Change the garage. Let's check a little bit the chat and see what you guys are saying. Uh, Multi-class racing on GT4. I don't know. I don't think so about AI, but multiplayer for sure. Why not? I mean, yeah. I don't advise it because the speed difference is great, but whatever suits you guys and makes you have a great fun and a great time. So I have no idea what's happening between consoles and PC. I don't think there will be any proper crossplay because usually the PC is a version ahead, the consoles are a version behind, but I don't know, to be honest. Are CA problems fixed? Because I'm still losing point with clean race. Let me talk about that. Well, CA problems from what we saw are fixed everywhere, pretty much everywhere. I haven't seen one guy saying that he lost everything and didn't gain it back. So we fixed that. It was a very tricky situation. I won't go into details here, but shit happens. Anyway, so quit. I will show you something though that you might not know, and I've seen many people not reading and not knowing what is going on with the essay. So driver, right? Ratings. Okay. So let's go to our consistency 98. Let's go to. I got 98 consistency from my last races at the charity event. So where is the safety control? Safety 96 here. Okay. Okay. So this is your safety rating, right? You have 96. I have 96 right now. But if you see what is going on here, those are my latest drivings, okay? It's not actually a time lap here, but it is more like how many kilometers I have done, okay? And as you can see, it's more or less my average is somewhere here, okay? Somewhere here. Uh, I have I have had in the last week some great races in the charity events and practice races and stuff. And as you know, I'm a guy that will stay behind another one, keep going, stay safe, don't touch them, etc., etc. And I will not just overtake and disappear or let them pass and let them disappear. I will try to stay close. And you can see that as a result of the trust, every green bar is lots of trust I have gained. So here I've gained 81 trust, here 38, here 57, here 72, and so on. The red points are the accidents. So it's the trust that I'm losing, the accident points, like they are called online behavioral warning points, OBWP. And I have 8 here, and mainly I'm low in warning points. Okay, right. So yes, Kirill, the last one is the mistake one. So what's going on? As you keep on driving, you keep on gaining kilometers here, and either you keep on gaining trust or penalty points, warning points. Okay, every time you gain something new in a race, for example, you do a new race and you gain something extra, then this new extra pushes all of that, okay, to the left, and you get columns disappear. So what that does mean? It means that if your average safety rating for whatever reason is this one, usually you go on racing and you get this kind of safety rating, which let's say is something like 80, all right? And like me, you did 4 great races, and you got up to 90, where is it? 96, all right, 96. Now you keep on racing day after day, and your next races are all more or less here. So you gain always trust, but your safety rating is here around 80, let's say. At some point, those big long columns with lots of trust, they will go to the left, 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 and at some point, this one will disappear. And then this one will disappear, and the next one will disappear. All these great safety earnings will disappear. And if your ratings are still around 80, like this, then your average rating, your average safety rating will go down. You might have ended a race without any accidents at all, but you are at around 80, 85, 50 point. You're at 96 when those things will disappear in the past. Okay, uh, your 96 rating will go down, will diminish. Okay. Hello, Luca Vetere. Welcome. So why this is happening? Why the system doesn't keep up your 96 safety rating? Well, because you might be a troll. You might have, greened offline lots of races, and then you go back and want to do a destruction derby, and you keep on doing it. You know, uh, we have uh, to keep understanding what your average safety rating is. What is your average driving style? So as you can see right here, my average driving style, because I'm testing things, I'm doing stuff, etc., is this. You see, usually my average driving style is this. So it's not 96. 96 happened because I've done some great races lately. But if I'm not doing any more great races, then I do not, I must not stay at 96. I have to stay in my average. So at some point, the new racers will keep pushing those great races to the left, to the left, to the left. At some point, they will become past, okay, and they will go and vanish into my history of racing and never to be seen again. And my safety will go down, except if I manage to do again this kind of races. This is why sometimes uh, you are keep doing races, do not have any accidents, you go out of the race and you see your safety go down by 2 points, and you're like, why? What has happened? What has happened is that you had an amazing race that raised your safety points, but that has just went off the screen and you've lost it. There's no more, and so the safety rating goes down again back to your average. This is what is happening. Okay, and obviously these things goes up and down, go up and down, and you shouldn't become crazy about it, to be honest. And to be, if you ask me personally, I think we made a mistake here. We shouldn't have had the safety ratings as a number, but we should have them, as groups, or I don't know, licenses or whatever. That, I don't know, over 90 you get A plus, and you stay there, and you don't know if you are in 96, 92, 91, or 99. You don't know that, and that from 80 to 90 you get A, and you don't know where you are. This is how it should have worked, in my opinion. Obviously, Kevin has a completely different idea and he does like that. I think it works great anyway, but you need to understand why this is happening. All right, so I don't know about that, Kevin Law. You asking me something about the PC rating that I don't know what to tell you, but the only thing I can tell you that all that stuff again, it's similar. It's up and downs, up and downs. So yeah. RDZ asks, is there anything in the game currently that's not being simulated on the physics side that you would like to add to the game? There are many small things that I'm working on, and you know researching and trying to understand and trying to see if we can implement it. There is always something specific. I've went I went out of that kind of mindset some years ago. At the start of our racing career, sim racing development career, we were thinking that 95% of the physics were tires. if you ask me, then after some years, uh, let's say 5 years ago, if you would have asked me what's the main, most important thing of of the physics, I would have said 95% is tires, 99% is tires, and then another 99% is everything else. Because I've seen that all things together make the difference. If you ask me now, I will tell you that 100% is the tires in importance, 100% is aerodynamics, 100% is the suspension, and 100% again is the details. Many, many details is what makes the character of a car. So you drive something that is full of zero and ones into your living room or whatever, into a bit-dimensional monitor or a headset for the guys that they have the virtual reality stuff, and it's all fake, and still you can say that yes, the Aston Martin has this kind of character into the turn, and the Lamborghini is a little bit different, and the Porsche is so wild. This thing is, you feel that because of the very tiny details. So as many tiny details I can put in, this is what gives the car character and brings everything to life and keeps the immersion high. If just answer that, guys, for the crossplay. As I said, I don't know. I'm out of my depth here. I believe it won't be happening because um, usually the consoles are one version behind the PC. So I don't know how that could happen. Plus, obviously, the frame rate, different values and stuff like that. But I don't believe it's gonna happen a crossplay between consoles and PC. Between consoles, I don't know. I have no idea about that. I don't know. Okay, so multiplayer. Let's go. Let's go in. Let's go in. Let's get our Aston Martin and RedLine Motorsport. Red line. Red line. So where do we have to go? Here. We have to go here. Practice server. That's it. Um, what is the password? Let me see if I can find it. And obviously I will say it out loud. Where's the password? Ah, there it is. Okay. Okay. And let's go. Yeah, I'm in. All right. Ooh, it rains. It rains. The track is optim. No, the track is wet. 12 degrees. Dear God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What are we gonna do? Well, first of all, let's see who is here. Practically nobody. I thought I would have found David de Brivio here, but he's not here. So probably it's too late for him. He's a young guy, but he doesn't have the energy of the old guys like us. So he's not here. Maybe later I can see him somewhere. We'll see. It's not here, and not anywhere. Anyway, if he gets back, we'll get him and we'll try to practice together. No, I'm not drunk, mate. I'm not drunk. Take slicks. Yeah, probably. I'll have to do one lap or two and see how the track is. So let's go with the wet preset and see what is going on. All right. Okay. So, oh, so nice. Yes, and right. And that's true, Pave or Pafe. He says he has no children, not used to sleep. Exactly, to no sleep. He's not used to no sleep. How right you are. So the wind here is nothing. Uh, Usually, when you have no wind or very low wind, it means that the weather will keep on going as it is. If you see the wind spiking, or it's very very high in numbers, it's very strong. That means that maybe there is a very good opportunity that the weather is about to change. It won't always happen, but if you see the spike, you know that you have like 5 kilometers of wind, 5 kilometers per hour of wind, and keep us going. The weather is the same. At some point, you see the wind goes up to 20. This is a very good indication that something is about to change, and you should be aware that the weather is about to change for better or for worse. Okay. So yes, I have to prepare the race with maybe these conditions. So we'll see. All right. Oh my God. Hello, Han. Welcome to the channel. All right. So wet tires, and I can see some dry spots. Dry spots. Oh, that is gonna be so difficult. Ooh. Have one guy behind me. I don't know if he's faster than me, probably because. Ooh, my tires are. Wow! Look at my tires, they are orange already. Let's let this guy go through. And let's see if we can follow a little bit, but I doubt it. Ooh. There are moments where the car... Oh, look at him! Oh, goodbye! Look at the tires! So much heat. Oh, that's gonna be very hard. So, here's something extra that you have to know on how Assetto Corsa simulates the rain and everything. You know most of it by now, but look at that. So I have my tires orange practically because I'm on the dry spots, and obviously they are getting too much heat. Now I'll go to the wet part and look how green they become on the surface, because obviously we are also simulating different heat models for the surface and different from the core and everything. So if I go outside the dry line, the tires hold up and very fast. Look at that again. Now obviously I have to stay on the dry line for better grip, but if I go outside here, look at them, look at the tires. Now again, orange and outside. Ooh, I'm sliding. Oh my God. But you get the idea. So if you are stuck with your wet tires and you need to, you're having big overheating problems with your wet tires, then the solution is get out of the dry line, go into the wet, and here you are with your tires cooling down again. Look at this. Let's leave this guy go through. Cool down our tires in the meantime. And see if we can do something with less traction control than before. Yes, wet tires have a much wider operation range than the slicks. Oh, driver is so tricky. So right now, obviously everybody will think, but Aris, what are you doing? Your tires are overheating and the pressures are way off their optimum range, and you keep on driving here while you're doing this. Well, first of all, I have to understand the track and the conditions. I have to see where the grip is and where it's not. I have to see if there are any puddles, if I can use some curbs or not. Also, don't be very afraid if your wet tires are overheating. They are supposed to do that, so they can still give you a good grip even if they are overheating. Obviously, you're gonna have, blistering problems, but for now, for a couple of laps, it's no big deal. We're not searching for outright whoops. You see? All of this is now experience that I have to learn where to go. So we're not searching for performance right now. We're trying to understand the conditions, and we need to do a couple of laps in that conditions to understand what is going on. After that, since our wet tires are so much overheating, we will try to go. Actually, after this lap, I'll go back to the pits, put in the the slicks, and hope to not die. This is what we have to do. Yeah, the ideal line right now is very, very dry. So, as you can see, they're really overheating right now. They're really red. The pressures are way too high. The whole car is sliding like on oil or honey or something like that. It's really so slidey right now. No precision at all. Yes, the wind does influence how fast the track will dry out. Alright, so let's go in. And change everything. Sun also influences, because obviously if there are clouds, the track will dry up slower. If there are if there is sun, the track will dry up faster. All right, so return to the garage. Oh, we're in for a treat here. This is really, really tricky. So what I'm going to do now is get the aggressive setup. I will get a little bit of brake bias to the rear to help the front end go in, but we'll see what is happening. For now, I'm not touching it, because it seems that the dry line is quite dry. But it's gonna be very... Now, I'm pretty sure that probably the slick tires are gonna be very cold, so probably I will have to raise the pressures a lot. But for now, let's go out like this and see what will happen. Again, tonight we are not going to try and be fast. We have to understand what is going on, how we can improve the car, how we can improve our driving. The conditions are terrible. Then maybe we can try and see some performance. But even if I not up to the lap times that I want, it's not time to panic. There's no need. You just, keep on training, getting muscle memory for all this condition situation, and then when you're ready, you can attack. I remind you guys that since I don't have the time, to practice properly for the races, on the last charity races, I was able to do a better lap time at the last lap of the 1 hour race on the Lexus than my actual qualification lap time. This gives you an indication of how training in the long run makes you better and better and better driver. The setup was the same, the track was the same, the car was the same. I just got better by, doing laps, nothing more. All right, so let's see. As I said, aggressive setup. Hey, hi Davide! Hi Davide! So David is here. Let's see if I can catch him. Give me a second, guys. Let's switch here for a moment because you cannot see all our secrets on the Discord channel. And let's go to Davide and see. Let's see what he says. I'm not sure. Well, he will reply at some point. Okay, so yeah, set up again, heat up the tires, back, and let's do a couple of driving, a tiny bit of driving with the slicks for the first time. They are already getting cold. Look at that, terrible. Oh, this is gonna be awful. I can feel it already. Alright, so we're gonna need lots of traction control here. Okay, Davide, let me do a lap and then I'll be back with you and catch you in the Discord. Oh, low tire pressure already. Oh my god. This is gonna be really hard. Okay, let's see. Whoa. Now that. Oof. The grip is not bad. Actually, it's pretty good. As long as I stay on the dry line, because if I go a tiny bit wide, I can already feel a little bit of strange things on the force field. Ooh, you see? I went out on the wet and already I slide out wide. So I have to stay at least with my... oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, it doesn't stop. Ooh, code brown. Code brown. Let's let this guy go through. So what I have to do is try to always keep my outside tires on the dry line. I cannot let my outside dry tires that have all the grip go into the wet patches outside the dry line, because this is going to be terrible. Alright, so let's see. Ooh, my god. Ooh. Ooh. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is... oh, come on. Okay, so for sure the first thing we have to do is raise the hell out of... oh, come on, Dorito! Oh, yeah! Well, the first thing I have to do is stay focused. The second thing I have to do is raise the pressures on the tires because they are oh so low. What is code brown? Asked George. Guys, can you explain, George, what is code brown? Now this is one of the trickiest conditions, as it is too dry for wets and too wet for dries. I love that stuff. Need more ABS here. Because as you can see, I've lost the car in under braking multiple times. So I need some ABS to save me. So let's go up to 6 and hope for the best. I mean, I cannot even tell you and describe you how it feels on the wheel. You have the wheel having weight, and at some point you start feeling slight differences of force and strength at the wheel, and sometimes instead you just feel a slap, and you know the end is near, you know, something like that. It moves in my hands continuously like this. Now it went completely light, and I just lost the front end. Alright, so let's go back and put some pressure on. Slippery curbs. Oh. Don't read the chat while driving. Don't do it. Anyway, back to the pits now. Damn, driving with the slicks here is so hard. All right. So what we are down to 22, 23, really low. Okay. So we need to raise those pressures way too high. Mickey Pep says, close the brake ducts for more. Yes, absolutely, this is what we're going to do. For more tire heat. Kevin says, isn't it better with more rear brake bias because it's easier to brake grip at the front in the wet? It is, but here the situation is tricky. It is enough dry to be dangerous with too much rear brake bias, but then in the middle of the turn, if you are, you know, trail braking, then you might lose the front. So I have to find the correct compromise. It's pretty difficult. Okay, so first things first, way up in tire pressure. So 22, we want to arrive to something like 27. So at least 7 psi up. Sorry, 5 psi up. So we're gonna go to 30.3 here. 30.3. Right. And this is 22.8. Again, we are in 26 here. We want to stay, we need at least 5 here too. So let's go to 31.3 again. Let's see. Hi Vicky! Vicky from RedLine Motorsport is here. She's great. I enjoy the conditions a lot. I mean, I'm oh my god, I'm sweating already, and I've done like what 5 laps. It's tell me that the race is gonna be like that, because it's gonna be total disaster for us the drivers, but great for the experience. All right, so here 22 again 5, so 30.30 everywhere. Interesting. And 22.7, so again 5. 31, let's say on 31 here. All right, I will give it a bit more tow. That will heat up the tires a tiny bit more. And here a little bit more tow negative, and hope for the best, you know. Okay, and let's lower the brake bias to 1 and 1 and see what happens. 23.8 in these conditions. What am I doing here? Why am I here when guys are doing 23.8? What is that? Is it some kind of joke? Are you kidding me? I see already at 25 in these conditions. I'll be happy if I do a 27. All right, let's go and see. Oh yes, traction control in 5, 6, yeah, 5, it's like that, and 6 ABS. So because of the cold, the tire pressure will actually go lower, and they should arrive at our optimum 27, 28, and that will give us a good footprint and some extra grip, possibly. Don't forget David. Yeah, I already forgot about him. I'll try to catch him after these laps. Now I can see already the car is more precise. Hello Lucas, welcome to the channel. Yasu John. Well, the car is much more precise right now. What's the curb over there? Whoa, come on. That braking point is so scary. Hello Atanas. Welcome to the channel, mate. There's so many of you guys. Thank you so much for your support. And Federico. Ciao Federico. Stop watching the chat. I've stopped in 90 degrees. Dear God. What happened? I cannot watch the chat. Well, oh, come on. Let me get off this stuff. Out. So the chat must go off from here. All right. At least. Oh, let me catch Davide. Davide. Okay, let's see if Davide hears us. Colpa tua, Federico. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the channel, Federico. Bam. All right. So, am I in already? Okay. Hi, Davide.
Sorry, my Discord was too low.
Ah, that's why. Well, you can always hear me screaming when I'm driving. So where in what kind of shit did you made me participate? What is this thing?
Yeah. Oh,
Jesus.
let me.
Let you
Uh,
what? I'll just go out and do a couple of laps and hope to stay on track. I haven't done a single proper lap until now. What on earth is
wait,
that?
I'm dying. I don't hear you. I just hear you screaming.
Yes, of
Wait.
course you hear me scream. I had a near-death experience out of my body. I ended up 90 degrees on the main straight line, watching the straight on the wall. I couldn't go forward or backwards.
Well, the nice news that you should know is that if you put your dry uh, safe preset and work on that, you'd be surprised.
Of course, I'm surprised. I did it. Of course, of course, the safe setup is great. I did all the setups, so of course it works. But you know, to be a little bit different, I took the aggressive setup, and now I'm dying. Oh my god! By the way, Vicky from RedLine Motorsport told me to tell you that I have to humiliate you, but because you still haven't, you know, signed up our team and you're not signed to the team as a driver.
You mean to
To
the?
the KRT, to the Kunos Racing Team number 2. So, luckily,
Yeah.
she's so nice to us that she kept us a spot. But otherwise, we would have been out from from the race already. So well done, mate.
You mean for the Princess qualification?
Yeah, for everything.
We were we were correctly booked for that.
Yes, but you are not registered as a team, as a driver for the team.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, it's because of the Discord sign-in. I had to switch account and yeah.
And yes, I can assure you guys that he's doing the same thing in Kunos too. Always messing around, never working. This guy's unbelievable, but you know, we have to have a guy like him always into the company. So
Yeah, it's good for the taxes.
yeah. All right, so let's do a lap.
Yeah, I left some laps too, and then we can talk about the setup. I
What
left
setup?
something.
Oh my god! Oh god! Oh! Torifto! Takumi! So what lap time should I do amongst normal people?
I can get to a 26.4.
Impossible.
We will get there, I'm sure.
Ah, understeer! Anda! I just had a circuit walk, and I took all the, you know, the reference points and everything, and it makes no, I mean, I wasted my time and my channel subscribers' time. It makes no sense at all in here. What on earth is going on?
Okay, do you remember Brands Hatch? Okay, now you are in the swimming pool.
Oh my god, I'm sweating.
If you want, I'm waiting for you. I'm in front of you.
No, I don't want to wait for me. I want you to call the ambulance because I'll be there in a moment. while you are on the dry spot, everything is fine. The problem is that you cannot stay on the dry spot, damn it. There you go. Ah. Woohoo! Oh, come on! I've lost it. Oh, yes, my lap time is validated, yeah. That's my main problem right now, that my lap time is validated, Gergo. Thanks for letting me know. If you also have advice on how to survive, please let me know too. This is amazing. Did we did that?
Did we?
I don't know. That's what they say.
No, I didn't understand.
I said that this thing, this conditions and simulation and everything is amazing, and I'm wondering if we managed to do this and how we did it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because modesty apart, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, this is fucking awesome.
Oh, come on, again, outside. Whew. The chat is going crazy. I don't even know what they're saying. I cannot even read the chat. It's even on the straight line. It's impossible to read something from the chat. I cannot. They are telling me I'm in the tunnel. I'm telling you I'm looking at a light at the end of the tunnel, but it is a train, damn it. It's not the exit. It's the fucking locomotive. Ah, there you have it. Ah. Okay, let's go back in. Fix a little bit the pressures. They need to be a little bit lower, sorry, because probably because I've had the brake ducts now lower. The tires are are a little bit higher in temperature, and the pressures went a little bit higher. So let's see. Well, Mickey Pepsi says the front brakes are overheating at the end of a braking zone. Maybe set the front brake duct to 2. You know, it could be an idea, but to be honest, if they are overheating just a tiny bit, in the end, it gives me even more better modulation. So I'm not, locking the wheels so much because I don't have all that braking power. I don't know. I could also use number 3 of pads and see what happens. Let's lower a little bit here by 1 psi. And 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And another 3 here. 1, 2, 3. And this is pretty much perfect. All right. And let me put the electronics already at 5, 5, 5, 5 here. And save the setup because we're gonna need it. So oops, 1 wet. Actually, no, it's damp. No, well, okay, wet, whatever. Okay. Well, It is bad normally. I mean, Madsen says so. It's not bad if the brakes are getting yellow in the HUD after braking. It is a little bit bad, but also always depend on the contest. Here we have a circuit where you don't need heavy braking except maybe in 1 or 2 turns. Okay, if on those turns you still have enough braking power, and by having the brakes a little bit yellow at the end of the braking zone keeps your tire a little bit higher in temperature, then why not? Maybe for the race we can do a different. We can raise a tiny bit the brake tact and have a different situation, but no big deal. Yeah, it's exactly. Tortellini says it's bad for the long run. Yeah. All right. So yes, everything is cool here. Maybe I can use 2 clicks less rear right height, or maybe higher front one. We'll see. Okay, let's try this. By the way, what is my lap time? I don't know. 29, 28.9. It's gonna be so bad, guys, so bad. Oh, guys, there's Captain Barracuda says, "Are you the new Stefano?" No, I'm not the new Stefano. Nobody can be the new Stefano. That's why we have to substitute Stefano with 4 or 5 new developers, you know, because that's what Stefano is. The new guys are amazing, they are senior developers, but they could not possibly do everything alone. So we have some amazing new talent that is already been working for a long time into what Assetto Corsa have came to be and what you are guys enjoying right now. And this is their work, so don't worry. And besides, my new role here at Kuno Simulazioni is research and development of the realism and handling, head of research and development and realism and handling. Yeah, which means that if the realism doesn't satisfy me, we cannot release it. So don't worry about it. Oh my god. Oh, oh! Seriously? Ugh. That was cool. I was like, where is my reference breaking point? Ah, here it is. Okay, let's break. Boom! Lost it. Absolutely. Oh man, when you go outside the dry zone, it's terrible. Oof. Oh, come on, again. Still I haven't done the T1 once properly. Still. I mean, seriously, Aris? Get your grip together, man. Let's follow this nice little guy here. See if we can improve our lines, possibly. Is it raining more than before now? I don't know.
No, it's just darker.
Ah, sure, because why not?
Why not? A bit of night.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Again, I've lost it again. Oh, come on, that's impossible. No, I know what it is. Maybe I found it. This is now, my brakes are red, so yeah. So the guys in the chat were correct. I have to higher up the brake ducts because of overheating the brakes. I didn't have any more symmetrical braking, you know. So the brakes, some of the brakes were, grabbing, they were braking more than the others. So that was what was making the car go sideways every time. Right. So
Okay, 26-2.
nice. Well done. Well done. So I have to get at least to 27 today to say that I'm doing something, right?
For all the first day I was on 28, so I expect you to go on 27 easier than me, but
We'll see. Okay, let's see if the brakes respond better now.
but by the way, I suggest you just to build up some muscle memory and then wait for this
Oh
9
yeah,
minutes,
absolutely.
because the restart of the session will be, let's say, brighter again.
Oh yeah, it gets worse as you move ahead.
No, not the rain, but the light. So the light
Right,
at
yeah.
the beginning of next session will be day again.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Okay, let's see this. No, I just cannot brake for the 31. It's incredible. I just can't do it properly. I have to take a different reference point because I'm just ending up always having issues controlling the car. Unbelievable.
If you want a suggestion, I started from the same exact problem. I ended up driving like a rally driver instead like a circuit driver, so just chase the dry line.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying.
And brake, you can drag the braking point into 2 or 3 spots, so it's much more important to stay in the line than braking.
Seems to me that instead of braking, you have to start praying.
Yeah, that's true.
The only thing that keeps me up in morale is that I always at every lap I see some cars, you know, outside hitting the wall or on the grass, or you know, dead bodies everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only thing that gives me an indication, so that yeah, okay, I'm doing shit, but it's commonplace for everybody else.
And do you know what's crazy? That we are so used to use the delta as the ultimate precision information, but then you will notice that also in your fastest laps, there are laps in which you randomly gain half a second, and you say, "Okay, how did I do this? I
There,
want to remember."
there is a delta. Hello, Robert. Welcome to the channel. Perfect moment to see me suck beat dive.
What pressures are you aiming at?
20, well, I'm on the slicks now, so the usual 27, 28, somewhere
Okay,
in the middle
okay.
of that. 27.5, 27.6, something like that. Oh my god, another car. Okay, I did a lap, finally. Oh, come on. 27 flat. Now we're talking.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah.
All I need for tonight is go to 26. And then we can start, you know, understanding what we need from the setup. Actually, I already know what I need from the setup. A fucking big blower at the front of the car to dry out the track. That is what I need. Oh, Madsen, the BMW M4 GT4 is so driftable. It's amazing. It's a drift machine. But you know, in a racing style, not the drift that you can do, you know, wild lines and angles. Just that drifty thing that you're almost about to kill yourself, but no, you don't. So satisfying. Ooh. Oh, come on. Oh. So you can see also, guys, how the pressures at the front are already lower than before, because we opened up a little bit the brake ducts. You see, they are around 27 flat. So yeah, let's go back to the pits and fix things a little bit. I'm driving with the wheel and hands visible so that you can see, guys, what I'm doing. Because the main thing of this whole live stream here is always to show you, possibly teach you stuff. That's why I'm doing it, and I enjoy it, so that you guys can see everything without any, you know, things. I want to show you everything I can. All right, so Okay, so I guess we have the first troll on the chat. We can easily ban. Congratulations, my friend, for being the first troll. Yeah, up, and here we go. Ba-bam. Nice. Ah, you see, when you become famous, trolls and haters arrive.
Legend.
No, I cannot do 24, guys. I'm not fast. I'm your average developer, slow guy. I don't know about that, KTO me. I don't even know how it works, to be honest. So a little bit higher here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and yeah. Thank you, Madsen. I need a moderator sooner or later. Okay, so a little bit lower here, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Okay. Ah, real fame is determined by the arrival of the sex bots. Ah, yeah, true, 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 true. But we do not ban the sex bots, right? We love the sex bots, bots. All right, so I could do with all the downforce I can get, so I will raise it a bit here. Captain Barracuda says, I will moderate your channel for 5 safety rating. uh, Alright, so let's go. Oh, you're already a moderator, Madsen. You're everywhere, mate. Can you implement Italian dialect race engineer voice? Davide, can we?
that, that was an idea of yours.
Yeah. Oh, time is up. Oh, come on, look at that. Whew. Joy is saying, Tomà, vedi che si scivola.
Where is your car in the box?
Huh? Okay, ended.
Oh, you're out
End
the
of
box.
story. Okay. Okay, I believe they will reset the server in a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Light.
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 Light. Let there be light. Ah.
Perfect.
Let me save the setup again. So this becomes number 2 and save and move on. Okay.
So,
So what?
except from the pressures,
Yeah.
what I've just noticed, just by going via pens and following your videos, I've worked a little bit on. I've tried to understand about the stiffness of the springs and all the rest of the mechanical grip section.
Okay.
And the anti-roll bars.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that it seems to be much important by that compromise in which you go for the aggressive side of things, because otherwise the car is slow. Obviously, you're not sliding sideways,
All right.
So if you raise the anti-roll bars too much,
Yeah.
you start to slide sideways. If you go too soft, the car is much easier and much more grippy, but you're losing tons of seconds in traction, in braking, turning and etc.
Yeah. Well, what I'm gonna try now is to see if the car is gaining. Although I'm still, I mean, I just did that 27 flat, and I'm by no means constant. So changing the setup here doesn't really do me any good until I am, you know, until I can hit turn after turn constantly.
Yeah,
I shouldn't touch it, but I'm trying to give it some extra wing at the rear and
yeah,
make it a little bit more easier for me to drive, and that hopefully will slowly make me more, you know, constant with
yeah.
my lap times. So this is the first thing I'm gonna try to do. And don't read the chat, possibly. Oh, the curbs are so slidey. Ah, come on. Yeah, wing at 9 seems to work better for me for now.
Okay.
It's all in the exit of the turns. I'm gaining seconds just by nailing an exit. Ooh, so hard, guys. I don't know how we're gonna do a race here.
I hope this is just the quali.
You hope.
Yeah, I hope.
Well, The impossible is happening. I'm catching on another guy. 27-1.
Yeah, I'll go and rise. Yeah, the wing to 9 is what I have now.
Oh, with the slicks. Oh, I was braking and I could almost feel the pedal vibrating, all in my mind, but I could feel the steering wheel with the slicks completely off the dry line.
Yeah.
To overtake the guy. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die here. Ooh, ah. Ooh. I still have a bit too high pressures after some laps. So let's go in, take care of it. 28.3 at the rear and 28 flat at the left front. Right. Ooh, let me stop for a moment. Make those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, save this. Again. This is number 3. As we move closer to what we want. Number 3. Okay, let me check a little bit on the chat. How are we going, guys? Okay, people are chatting between themselves, so nice. Jafu4745, new subscriber. Hey, welcome. Okay, let's do a couple of laps more. Let's see if lowering a little bit the camber at the rear can help me control the car better. Hey, Stazovic, Z Racing. What's my dampers explanation? And he's thanking me for the great video. I'm surprised that you understood something because I didn't understand anything while I was doing it. No, we don't do low fuel turns. We first learn to, stay on the track with good fuel and everything. Then we have all the time to do low fuel turns. But, qualifying does nothing if you cannot stay on the track. Hi, Rubber Stig. Okay, dampers here are a little bit on the high side.
What would you do with the bump?
I would try to lower everything, but I'm not sure that I'm gonna understand it right now because I'm not yet up on speed. So I won't do anything at all. Yeah, one click. Yeah. All right, let's try some more laps, guys. It's really important to get up to speed, be consistent. Then we're gonna do proper setup work. Right now, proper setup work means nothing at all. We are in a situation where setup work is completely useless. You just need, I need right now a car that I can trust and a driving style that, keeps me consistent into understanding what the car does. Otherwise, even if I change things and I'm not consistent lap after lap, it means that I do not really understand what the car is telling me, and I'm just messing up even more with the car and my muscle memory and my understanding of the handling. So just have to stick to it. And in the meantime, welcome Steve and Kieran on the new subscribers. Wow, you guys are keep on coming. Amazing.
They are fucking everywhere.
They're outside from the fucking walls. And out. Boom. Dump. Hello. There goes a guy there. I thought I could, join him. That was the typical, rain accident you see in real life, where you see a couple of cars exiting and going at the same, at the same point outside of the track. Ciao, Enrico. All right, let's try again. Now, Frederick says I should put the name on the name of the setup, the track conditions and air temperature, and he's very right about it. But there are two problems with that. The first problem is that I am a lazy, and the second problem is that I'm a lazy dev. So those are the main problems. The other issue is that I'm not doing many races. So usually I remember, that okay, I'm doing this setup for that race, and that's it. If I find a particularly good setup that I really, really want to keep, then I will rename it properly. But while I'm doing that stuff, I'm very lazy on naming, and I'm just, put some numbers in it. And usually, the better the setup, the higher the number, until I don't like it and I go back. Cars everywhere, dead people everywhere. That's not a circuit race qualifying, it's a zombie area. It's like World War Z. Ooh, understeer here, damn it. I have to wait more to open. Or rotate the car before, I don't know. Have to try this. See dead people, yeah. Lazy Gobblehead. Engage Gobblehead, let's do a couple of laps. Let's see this 26 tonight. So that, tomorrow and after tomorrow can start going into 26 lows, maybe. But let's see this 26 tonight. I would like to see that. And I think it's possible. Ooh, those instant oversteer movements. Come on. Now we're talking. That's some interesting delta. Oh, come on, Aris, come on, you cannot fuck up like this on the grass and into the wall. So, come on, 7/10 of a second down. That would have been at mid 26. Come on.
Okay, I think I will go to sleep with this image of us in the middle of the clusterfuck.
You going to sleep, mate?
Yeah.
All right.
I started at 9, so.
Okay.
Um,
See you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone. Yeah, bye, everyone. Bye, guys.
Oh, the fucking curb. Come on, Aris. Come on, Aris. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, it's coming. I cannot even see what lap time I did. 26.2. Yes. Ooh, I've touched. Oh my god, I just touched the wet spot. And just. Damn. Damn. Okay, let's stop. That is a very nice result for tonight. Actually, I would like to do this. I would like to do another 26 so that my brain understands that it's not, just one off and can do it again. So let's do one more. I don't know if the tires can handle that or they are, tired now. But in these conditions, I don't think they made too much of a difference. So let's try once more. Okay, let's see if we can do another lap similar. No, we cannot do it. We need more focus here. And more wobbly head. Need to get this turn better because every time I end up a tiny bit wide and then my tires touch the wet asphalt and it's disaster. Ooh. Oh, I need third gear here. and I need to do something on the dampers, I start understanding what the car is telling me. And one of the things that it's telling me is that the dampers are sometimes too hard, and my car is dumping on the curbs when I'm cutting. Ooh, so hard. Ooh, ah. Ah, I can feel the car sliding around. Ooh. Oh man. Yeah, I'm even improving. Yeah, that's it. Let's go, brain. Yes, that's it. No, not like that, brain. Yes. Yes. We are starting finally to communicate. Ah, no, that goes too much. Oh, sorry, car. Oh my god, that was terrible. Okay, so what did we learn today? Let's go to the pits and find out. It's enough for tonight. We are getting, into 26 lows, so it means that I can see the 25s, which is something that I was not expecting for tonight. I was expecting something like that during the weekend maybe, but it gives me confidence that we can do it, and it's gonna be great. Right, stop here, let a replay go, and have some fun. Look at this. Oh, this is so wonderful. All right, guys. So, did you like it? I've enjoyed it a lot. I mean, look at that. So we had a dry line, very, very narrow dry line, that it was making the wet tires overheat a lot. It was, it wasn't difficult to drive the wet tires. So this is something to think about in terms of raining race. If the race conditions are like that, personally, I don't know if I would go for the slick tires. I mean, yes, with the slick tires you can get, um, you know, 25s possibly with a full fuel load, because as you saw, I was at half fuel tank. Um, but if you touch the wet line or a wet spot or a puddle just a tiny bit, you are dead. I mean, you are properly dead. It's not like I'm having problems to control it. No, you're just sliding out, and often, as you saw, you get an accident. So in such conditions, on a race, I might be obviously not going for the win because the aliens can be so precise. Possibly I won't be able to be so precise. So possibly I would use maybe the wet tires and be much more safer. Be able to do lap after lap after lap, even doing some errors, some wrong things and stuff, and I would be able to still keep the car on the road. But we're not there yet. It depends on how much precise I will be able to be. Um, so some of the questions I think. Thank you, Intafaz. Sorry about that, mate, but thank you for joining. And you can always, catch the stream tomorrow and watch it again. And as usual, I will be cutting it into long, didn't watch small pieces so that you can watch just the thing that interested you. Um, if you can, Tortellini says, if you can focus, slicks will be ultimately faster. They will be much faster, but look at my replay right now. Just a tiny bit of error. Look at that. What was that? Back there. So here, just a little bit wide, and I'm dead. Dead. I'm not just, oh, I've lost control. Dead. Just out of luck, I didn't hit it, the guardrails, but you saw that. Yeah, exit stage left. So that's it. Another question that I saw before on the chat. I don't know if I can catch it again. I found sometimes that the fast damper setting. Yeah, okay, we'll see about that later when we have more, confidence in our driving. Some other guy was asking something long amongst the lines of what happens with the dry line. So, okay, so let me tell you a couple of things about how we simulate the dry line and so on. Is it possible in real life that you can ride with slicks in these conditions? Actually, yes. If you want to have fun, Jean-Louis says, is it possible in real life to ride with slicks in such conditions? If you want to have fun, uh, go to YouTube, search for the GT World channels that broadcast the actual real races of GT3 series SRO, and search for, I think this year or last year, I mean 2019 season or 2018, I don't remember. I think 2019 season, Hungaroring Race 2. There are two races. Search for Hungaroring Race 2 and you will see the cars starting on completely wet conditions on the slicks, except the BMW M6. The BMW M6 starts on rain tires, overtakes practically everybody. Budapest 2018. Thanks, Madsen. You know everything, man. So the BMW M6 overtakes practically everybody in the first 3 or 4 laps. Okay, and then after that, the dry line appears, and the BMW is all over the place, having serious issues of overheating the tires, and everybody else with the slick tires are way faster than him on the very narrow dry line. The problem is that to overtake them, they have to go outside on the wet spots, and the first 10 to 12 laps are amazing to watch, and it is exactly what we see here. And if I may, so we also model many of the situations because one of the reasons, one of the races that we watched to understand what is happening was that race in 2018. Yeah, it dried up in unbelievable speed. So once again, sometimes people are saying, because of their personal experience with rain and drying up on their own country or on their own circuit or on their own public roads, and they told us, and they're saying to us, you know what, we saw the truck is drying way too fast or the truck is drying way too slow. It's not like that. The problem is exactly that. It's your experience on your own public roads, conditions, whatever. uh, Fortunately or unfortunately, the situations are different in every single circuit, in every single country, in every single ambient conditions. We are trying to simulate as much as we can, but obviously and certainly some conditions might feel to you way too fast or way too slow to dry or too wet. Okay, but that doesn't mean necessarily that it's not realistic. It might not be realistic in your conditions that you're used to, but it might be realistic on this track or in the conditions that we've managed to take data, measure, and simulate. We might have never measured and got data on your situation, so we don't simulate that. But weather is very unpredictable and can do very different things. Uh, exactly. Also, most racetracks have particular asphalt to dry up much faster. Not to mention that the cars drive on top of the circuit much faster with much wider tires and much more aerodynamic, so they, dry up the dry line much faster than normal cars on normal highways, so to say. Yeah. So all of that's happening. Now, some people ask me, but you don't have the racing line very slippery. We have, we have that. Uh, but to feel it, you have to have some particular conditions. So what has to happen? Right now, the dry line is the racing line. Okay, uh, but um, but the problem is, hello Nixos. The problem is that if you have a dry track on a Assetto Corsa Competizione and it is fully rubbered, all right, fully rubbered, which means that it is optimum condition, and then starts to rain for the first 2, 3, 4 laps, the racing line is particularly slippery, very slippery, much more slippery than fast track. I can assure you of that, and we know the numbers, we know it is like that. So why don't you use the outside? Well, first of all, because most of the people do not know that, and there is no way to understand that until you try. Secondly, because where you are gaining is when possibly you are braking just a bit outside of the racing line, on the inner side. The braking uh, on the inner side of the road is much better than on the racing line, because the racing line is so much slippery. And when you are accelerating again, usually if you stay a little bit more outside of the racing line, you have more traction. The problem is it faster? Sometimes yes, on some very long braking zones it is faster, sometimes no, because the fastest line is the racing line, which is the widest one, even if it is the most slippery one. For example, on turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the very fast fourth corner turn here at Brad's, you cannot take an outside line. You have to take the racing line, even if it's slippery, because it's so fast and there's just one line to follow. On a very narrow hairpin, if the track is rubbered and starts rain, then maybe it pays to stay a little bit on the middle of the track instead of the actual racing line close to the curb. Try it and see if it's better. Uh, Another thing that you need to understand is making the fastest lap is one thing. Being fastest in the race and be able to overtake in the race is another thing. So in the race, if it starts raining and there is rubber on the road, then you can try an overtaker maneuver going outside the racing line, because there is more grip. Try it. Uh, the issue probably is that with rain, the rubber line gets cleaned up, okay, and at some point, it's not more slidey than outside the racing line. It's the same grip everywhere because the rain cleaned up everything. I will say, as a criticism to Assetto Corsa Competizione on what we did, it's probably this in Assetto Corsa Competizione is happening way too fast. Usually it needs 4 or 5 laps to happen. Maybe in real life it needs more than that. Okay, so that might be a problem that we have, and we might, improve it in the near future. Sergi asks, if you set up tire pressures for a certain track temperature, is there any equation that relates the pressures depending on the temperature increase? Not really, not exactly. Yes, but no. It's not so easy to understand. It's more a trial and error. If you do some trials and errors, then you can, get your indications, as the real teams have, and you can have experience and say, okay, I now have a different temperature. I'll work with that. Why it's not a specific equation? Because it's all very dynamic. It isn't just the ambient that changes, but also your driving style that changes. The tires might be worn out or not, might be fresh or not. The fuel might be up or down. It's never the same exact situation as in real life. We are trying real hard to do so, because otherwise, if we do everything correct, then yes, it would take just a specific equation, and that would be it. But we are trying to modify everything a tiny bit so that you never find the exact situations, and everything is dynamic on the car so that you never find the exact situations. And this means that you need some trial and error to to make it perfect, or you have to do as real drivers, deal with it, drive it, and get the best out of it that you can. Is it true that if the front of the car is too low, the rear diffuser will not have enough air to work properly? You know where you can see this thing? You can see this with the Porsche 991 first generation, mainly. Also a little bit with the second, but mainly with the first one. If you lower the front end too much, on some circuits, when the front uh, uh, when the front splitter touches the ground way too much, you are also losing some of the diffuser uh, downforce. Unfortunately, the first generation Porsche doesn't have a big diffuser and doesn't generate tons of downforce from the big diffuser. It generates the downforce from the rear wing, which is, it always gets free air, clean air, so there's no problem about it. So you don't feel it as much. But there are situations where you can feel the Porsche touching the ground, going into extreme understeer because the front um, splitter stalled because it was touching, and then it raises a little bit, and then you lose the rear instantaneously. Not because the front has too much grip, but because the rear also lost the flow. And it works real well if you raise the front right head of the Porsche by 2 or 3 millimeters than what the aggressive setup stays on. Give it 2 or 3 millimeters higher front end. It might seem counterintuitive, but during the turn, when the car rolls and it is a little bit, carried, it has some load at the front, it works better. Um, if I can tell something about the V1.4, well, we have improvements on the suspension, especially the bump stop, uh, which will feel as if we have a better tire model. It makes the sorry, it makes the tires work much better. Beta testers are pretty enthusiastic about it. I'm very happy about it. I think you guys are gonna like it. Makes the car go through the curbs even easier than before, and you feel the suspension working much better than before. Also, at the same time, makes the car a little bit more, I would say, stable when you turn in, but more controllable. It's a strange thing. It feels like tires, but it's not tires. It's actually the suspension. And on top of that, we also have extra stuff on the tires, which might, make you uh, drive better on long races. Because if you are abusing your tires too much, you are going to generate a new kind of effect, which I will tell you later when we will release what is all about. Okay. Do the different brake pads have different operating temps? Uh, yes, but not as much as, you know, where is the highest point, but more as the range. So the brake pads one have a very narrow range, like that. Okay, they're like that. Brake pads two are like this, and brake pads three are like that. Okay, especially going towards the cold part of the braking. Uh, nice that you feel it, Frederick. Very nice. I'm really, guys. One of the best satisfactions I have from this work is that I'm doing all that stuff, and then I get some guys and telling me, you know what, I felt that. I don't know what it is, but why is it happening? And and you're right, feeling it. You know. Yes, Madsen, it gets better. It gets better. It gets really better. Tertellini says that that rating will be soon better than real life. I don't think so. Uh, yeah, exactly, Sergi. Sometimes the suspension response on the curbs is a tiny bit aggressive. Exactly what you said. Now it's even. It's not like it's smooth, you know, but it's how to say, you can feel it absorbing and moving more than before now. On top of that, you are going to be also, you're going to have more, it's going to be easier for you to adjust the bump stop range, the window, you know, the bump stop window. It's even easier than that. Okay, let's move on another replay like this. uh, just put the V12 on the new Aston. Oh, that is very tempting. Oh, mate, what did you tell me, Sergi? No, who was it? Pete0027. Just put the V12 in the new Aston, please. Ooh, that is so tempting, you know. Oh, man. Improve downwards model on ACC if possible. It's very hard. Uh, I did finish, mate, by improve how to improve. Yes, what I would like to have that I don't think we will be able to do in ACC, at least not in the near future, is a completely dynamic racing line that, you know, changes depending on where the cars are passing. We cannot have that for a million of reasons, but we have the next best thing, and because it is more easy to handle in terms of graphics and everything, we put on it on a ton of extra dynamic features. So you lose some, you gain some. Um, I think it make a better damage model than iRacing. Well, it's not easy. They're doing an amazing job. They're really good at that. They're doing a fantastic job. Well, hats off to them. Uh, when you released the Assassin's Flex, you said it was the first try. Possibly, we'll see in the future. Baby steps, always baby steps. Uh, Not only because, you know, it's difficult, but because we also have to understand if we are doing it properly, and if all the data validate, and if what we are doing we understanding, you know, we understand what we're doing. Yeah, I'm Melvering as is asking if I'm a dev. I'm doing the physics on the cars, all the physics and stuff, amongst other things, but mainly my job now that we have more developers is physics. In Assetto Corsa One, I was also doing web presence, social media, and the user interface design, the graphics at least, stuff like that, and other things. Now we are a bigger team, so I can, you know, focus more and possibly only on the physics, plus some extra little things here and there, and helping everybody else if I can. But mainly, 90% of my time now is physics. Sestino, yeah, I am tired to be honest because I just tell you these guys and then I think we can call it a night. I'm tired because there's tons of things going on behind the scenes right now in Kunos. We are preparing the new patch, the new version. We are working on the GT4s, as you know. We are working on the British GT, as you know. We are working on the esports stuff that we have some incredible success with the charity. SRO guys are they don't believe us that it was so good and people watch it in such big numbers that we have actually made it with just one race up to the numbers of the best real race. So it's amazing. So yes, I am a little bit tired to be honest, but also very excited. The adrenaline keeps me going as always. Also console launch, but that doesn't includes me too much. I've done my job. I know how it drives. That's all I had to do. It's on the hands of other people, very capable people. So it's all for me. Yes, it's true that Stefano is no more part of Kunos. You should check the live stream when it goes live again, when it goes up. Uh, when you should check the start of my live stream tonight. I have some minutes talking about Stefano, right? Um, Donington. Oh, Donington is amazing. Another amazing track. Yes, I'm working from home. I've always worked from home because I live in Brescia, which is in northern Italy. The offices are at Rome, which is 600, 500 kilometers from here. But most of the developers in Kunos are working from home. We are international studio, and we do not believe too much into office. Probably because we use that way. We are also a very small team, and we are fine every day on Discord, and we are fine like that. Uh, my opinion about the penalty at Monza. It's done already. There has been some warping going on, but honestly, I would say that I am not happy about how Amir is driving and defending. I think that if people respect this and let him, do the race, at some point the race control would jump in and penalize him because he's doing way too much changing, way too much waiting to see what the car behind is going to do. But if you are ahead and he was ahead, even though Niels wasn't able to understand that, if you are ahead, you have the possibility to choose the line. And unfortunately, Niels was very close. Some warping happened, and he bumped him from behind, 100% from behind. At such situation, a race control can do nothing else than to penalize him as it penalizes everybody else that does the same maneuver. That's the main problem here, you know? You understand what I mean? So, if you do this, if you hit someone from behind, it's all on your responsibility. It's completely your responsibility because the guy from behind is the one that takes risks. If you see one of my races, you'll see how many times I have to stamp on the brakes and let go the other car ahead of me because I am behind there and I have plenty of plenty of vision to see what is going on. The guy that is in front, maybe he tries to understand what is going on, but he cannot understand exactly what's going on behind him, right? So again, I would say I'm not a fan of mere tactics. But if you hit him from behind like that, you're gonna get penalized because that's the rules. Usually for sim racing, the rule is that you have to be at least at the half of the other car overlap to gain permission to get a line because of the problems we have with visibility. We have monitors, we don't have 360% visibility. So this is how it is. Good. I'm glad that the drivers are okay between them. What happens with offline endurance racing when the AI is driving? What do you mean? If they are bump you, they are idiots and assholes. That's the truth. Uh, am I interested in flight simulators? Yes, absolutely, but unfortunately I don't have the time to follow them. I'm even more interested in space simulators. I love Elite since the early days of BBC Micro, but I don't have much time. My son plays a lot of Elite Dangerous. The Microsoft Nets one, I saw it. I still cannot believe it, and possibly I will see it on my screen that I will still not believe it. I don't know what the fuck those guys have done. Unbelievable stuff. Yeah, he needs. Yeah. As you said, he needs to change his tactics, or possibly someone has to tell him, you know what? When you exit, I mean that's what I do. When I exit a turn, I pick a line, I stay to it, I pick a defensive line, and I make sure that the one behind me understand that I am going to defend the line. Okay, that I pick. I'm not, you know, staying at the middle and trying to understand where I'm going to, where behind the guy behind is going, and where, and so I will change my line. No. I know that someone is behind me. I know he's faster than me. For whatever reason, I decided that I want to defend. Sometimes it pays. Sometimes you decide to not defend. All right. So when I decide to defend, I will exit the turn, and as soon as possible, I will be very decisive to take the defensive line and stay there, stick with that. If the guy is so good that he or she can overtake me from the outside, well done to him. Otherwise, I'll get my inside line. Nice drift, apprentice. Well, technically, Amir doesn't change the line constantly. What he does is pretty clever and not sportsmanlike, but it is clever. Some real racers do also, but in real racing, you also have the fear of someone, sending you to the wall, and you risk your life and the money and your place and everything. Here in simulation, nothing happens except you're losing the race. So what he's doing is he's not changing line. He's staying pretty much in the middle of the racing line, and just at the last moment decides to change the line. Theoretically, he's changing line just one time. You know what I say? So theoretically, he's still valid. But as you said, that's not correct, and it's risky for the guy that follows, but also for him because, as you saw, it's been already 2 or 3 times that he has been sent to the wall. It's unfortunate for him. He could have won or at least made a podium, and it's unlucky for him. And I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Yeah. As you said, guys like Verstappen doesn't do that. I don't like Verstappen. Some people love him. That's racing. What's my favorite GT4 car? Too early to say. Yes, of course. Of course, we will have the M4. Of course, obviously, it's one of the main cars of the GT4 series. Anyway, guys, I think that is that was a pretty great live stream. I don't know about that, mate. About CP races. Oh man, sorry, Ervol, to hear that. There are some people that are extremely competitive. They are in just for the win. I respect that. I'm not like that, so uh, I'm trying to understand that I cannot understand their way of thinking because I'm not so competitive. You know, so I don't know how I would react if I could be so fast and go for the win every time. you know, it's in the character of everyone. I mean, yeah, that's it. I don't have a best Formula One driver. I love cars. I don't drive. I don't love drivers. I'm that kind of guy. Yeah, yeah. I'm a little bit strange about that. All right. So okay, guys, enough. Let's go get some sleep. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for keeping up with me, supporting me. Numbers again were amazing. You are keep you know subscribing on the channel. Thank you so much for your support. I hope that you are gaining something from the channel, that you're understanding some stuff about simulators and simulation and ACC in particular. Uh, Oh yeah, we are very happy. We are very happy about the media coverage. I mean, the game is exploding. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. So thank you again, and see you as soon as possible. We are going to do some extra practicing on this amazing circuit with this great car, and somewhere in the middle of next week, I'm gonna do the qualifying session. So I will have to, put down a proper lap. As you know, I'm not so good at qualifying. I'm much better at racing, but we'll do our best and see the outcome, right? Okay, thanks again. Subscribe, whatever, all that stuff, and stay healthy, stay at home, and see you in the next live stream. Cheers. Bye.